Okay, so here we go. Surya Namaskar A. Come to the front of the mat, feet hip distance apart, toes pointing forward, arms by the side. Samasati, equal standing pose, basically standing at attention. Noticing the breath. You're going to link every movement to the breath. Taking a few moments. Getting centered, focusing on the breath. And sun salute A. Inhaling the arms up. Exhale, folding forward, palms towards the floor. Inhale, flat back, so either palms on the shins or fingertips touching the floor, looking forward. Exhale, folding forward. Inhale, stepping back to plank. Chaturanga, either from the knees or squeeze the elbows in, coming straight down, rolling over the toes. Knees are off the floor, tops of the feet. And then exhaling, down dog. Pedaling out the legs. Rolling the toes. And then settling into your down dog. Efforting the heels down, lengthening the legs, hips up, lengthening the spine, crown of the head pointing at the thumbs. Noticing the breath. And inhale, stepping to the front of the mat, flat back, looking forward. Exhale, folding forward. Inhale, coming all the way up, arms up overhead. Exhaling, arms to the side. Inhaling, reaching up. Exhale, folding forward. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, palms to the floor, stepping back to plank. Chaturanga, elbows in. It's a tricep push-up. Rolling over the toes, up dog. Back over the toes, down dog. Efforting the heels and palms down, hips up. Finding length in the legs, back, arms, neck, crown of the head pointing at the thumbs. Long, deep breaths. And inhale, stepping to the front of the mat, flat back. Exhale, folding forward. Inhale, reversing, reaching up. Exhaling, arms to the side. Inhale, reaching up. Exhale, folding forward. Inhale, flat back. So if you do want to increase the intensity, you can do a jump back. Exhale, stepping or jumping back to plank. Chaturanga, up dog, and down dog. Heels and palms down, hips up. Move a lot of air, take long, deep breaths. And then either stepping or jumping to the front of the mat, flat back. Exhale, folding forward. Inhale, come all the way up. And exhale, arms to the side. Now, Surya Namaskar B, Sun Salute B. Inhale, sitting back into an awkward chair, Utkatasana. Exhale, folding forward, Uttanasana. Inhale, flat back, Ardha Uttanasana, half a forward fold. Exhaling, stepping or jumping back to plank, Chaturanga, up dog, and down dog. Now right away, right foot forward, rising up, warrior one. So you can have the arms out in the V, arms by the ears, or palms touching. But right away, palms coming to the floor, stepping back to plank, Chaturanga, up dog, and down dog. Stepping the left foot forward, warrior one. Then right away, exhaling, palms to the floor, stepping back, Chaturanga, up dog, and now pausing in down dog. Focusing on the breath, finding length. And inhaling, stepping or jumping to the front of the mat, flat back. Exhale, folding forward. Inhaling, awkward chair. And exhaling, arms to the side. Inhaling, Utkatasana. Exhale, Uttanasana. Inhaling, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, stepping back. Chaturanga. Up dog. And down dog. Stepping the right leg forward. Warrior, Virabhadrasana. Exhale, plank. Chaturanga. Up dog. And down dog. Left foot forward. Inhaling, warrior one. Exhaling, plank. Chaturanga. Up dog. And pausing in down dog. So as you find length, effort the heels and palms into the earth, ground towards the thumbs, lengthen the breath. And inhale, stepping to the front of the mat, flat back. Exhale, folding forward. Inhaling, awkward chair. And exhaling, arms to the side. One more. Inhaling, Utkatasana. Exhale, folding forward. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, stepping or jumping back, Chaturanga. Up dog. And down dog. Right foot forward. Warrior one. Exhale, plank. Chaturanga. Up dog. Down dog. Left foot forward. Warrior one. Exhale, plank. Chaturanga. Up dog. And pausing and down dog. Lengthen the breath. Lengthen the body. Lengthen the mind. And inhale, stepping to the front of the mat, flat back. Exhaling, folding forward. Inhale, awkward chair. And exhaling, arms to the side. Taking a couple of integrating breaths. Now open the feet out, hip distance apart, toes pointing forward. Folding forward, bend the knees. You can either hold on to the toes or maybe a yoga toe lock on the big toes. Point your middle finger on the inside, thumb on the outside. And then inhale, lengthen the legs. Exhaling, bend the elbows, crown towards the floor. Taking a few breaths. And then inhale, looking forward. Continue to hold on to the toes. Bend the knees. And then taking the palms underneath the feet. Back of the hands on the floor. Standing on the hands. So we're progressively opening up the muscles of the legs, glutes, and lower back. And then exhale, straightening the legs out, bending the elbows, pulling the crown of the head towards the floor. And inhale, coming all the way up. Okay. Now we'll start the standing poses. Step the right leg back, open the arms out to a T, turn towards the back of the mat. So the first two poses are done with the legs long. Reach with the right fingers, jut the left hip back, Trikonasana triangle. Windmill the arms, you can stay high. Imagine you're up against the wall behind you. And then challenge yourself to come down, but stay glued to the wall behind you. Fingertips pointing straight up. If you're comfortable, look at the fingers. And inhale, coming up to a T. Turn towards the front of the mat. Jut the right hip back. Reach with the left fingers. Windmill the arms. Get glued to the wall behind you, rotating the right hip up. And then you can challenge yourself without losing touch with the wall behind you. And inhale, coming up, turning to the back of the mat. Bring the left arm around, reach with the left fingers, both legs stay straight. You're folding forward, left palm can be on the shin, or use the block any height on the inside or the outside of the foot, rotating to the right, or palm on the floor, top of the foot, or on the outside of the foot, rotating to the right, legs are straight. It's a challenge pose. Revolve triangle. And inhale, coming back up to a T, into the front of the mat. Bring the right arm around. Reach with the right fingers, both legs stay straight. Right palm on the block on the inside, the outside, or on the floor on the inside, the top of the foot on the outside, rotating to the left, left fingertip straight up to the sky. And inhale, come up, stepping to the front of the mat. And now, stepping the right leg back, opening up to a T, turning to the back of the mat, bend the right knee. Momentarily in warrior two. Side angle pose, right foot. Option one, right forearm on the right thigh, left arm up by the ear, rotate the left hips, left fingers pointing to where the wall and the ceiling meet. Option two, right palm on the block on the outside of the right foot. Option three, palm on the floor on the outside of the foot. Option four, right arm wraps around the left leg, then rotate the left shoulder up. So these are all variations of side angle pose. And inhale, coming back up, warrior two. Turn to the front of the mat, bend the front knee. Side angle pose. Option one, left forearm on left thigh, right arm up by the ear, rotate the right hip, fingers point to where the wall and the ceiling meet. Option two, left palm on the block, fingertips point to where the wall and the ceiling meet. Option three, palm on the floor. Option four, wrap the arm around the leg, rotate the right shoulder up. Side angle pose. And coming back up. Warrior two. Straighten the front leg into the back of the mat. Then the right knee. Bring the palms together. Anjali Mudra, the gesture of the angels. So this is revolve side angle pose. Option one, left elbow lands on the right thigh. Option two, hook over the thigh, turning to the right. Option three, left palm on the block, outside of the right foot, right arm up, fingertips point to where the wall and the ceiling meet. And option four, hand on the floor. Revolve side angle pose. And inhale. Coming back up, warrior two. Straighten the front leg. Turn to the front of the mat. Bend the left knee. Palms together, Anjali Mudra. Option one. Right elbow lands on the thigh. Option two, elbow hooks over the thigh, turning to the left. Option three, right palm on the block, outside of the left foot, left fingers point to where the wall and the ceiling meet. And then option four, palms on the floor, rotating to the left. Side angle pose. And inhale. Coming back up and stepping to the front of the mat. Taking a couple of integrating breaths. And now step the right leg back. Arms out in the T, turn the toes to the right. So this is the wide angle forward fold series. The wider the legs are, the easier this will be. Closer together is a deeper challenge. Toes point straight ahead. Exhale, folding forward, palms on the floor. Lining up the fingertips with the tips of the toes. Lengthen the spine. Release the neck and head. Bring weight into the ball of the foot. Dig the heels in. Prasarita Padamottanasana. Wide angle forward fold. And inhale, coming up. Arms out in a T. Exhaling, hands on the hips, shoulders up, back and down. Squeeze shoulder blades. Keeping the hands on the hips. Holding forward, long spine. Crown towards the floor, elbows towards the sky. Release the neck. Get all the tension out of the neck. Prasarita Padamottanasana B. And inhale, coming up. Arms out in the T. Exhaling, interlock the fingers behind. Shoulders up, back, and down. Squeeze the shoulder blades. Squeeze the palms. And folding from the hips, long spine. Crown towards the floor, fingers towards the sky. Release the neck. Let the head hang heavy. And inhale, coming up. Arms out in a T. Exhaling, folding forward, arms out like airplane wings. Hold on to something, shin, ankle, yoga toe lock, or maybe the outside of the foot. Lengthen the spine, bend the elbows, and then pull the crown of the head towards the floor, release the neck. And inhaling, coming up. Arms out in the T. Taking a big step to the front of the mat. And stepping back one more time, only go about halfway. Turn towards the back of the mat. Both legs are straight. Bring the arms behind, palms touching, either the fingers pointing down or the fingers pointing up. Squeeze the shoulder blades together, slight arch in the back, and then keeping the legs long. Folding forward from the hips, long spine. Line up the center line of the chest with the center line of the leg. Release the neck. Let the head hang in a pyramid pose. And inhale, coming up. Keep the palms together. Turn towards the front of the mat. And then exhaling. Legs are straight, folding forward. Lining up the chest and the leg. Release the neck in a pyramid pose. And inhale, coming up. And stepping to the front of the mat. Okay, so now it's time for the balancing series. I'll mirror you. So place the right hand on the right hip, and a couple of choices. Raise the left leg up, bending the knee, hand on the knee. Or hold on to the big toe. Or lengthening the leg out. Taking a couple of breaths. And then bringing the leg out to the side. Turn the head to the right. So when you bring it out to the side, hand can be on the knee, holding the big toe, lengthening the leg, turn the head, look over the right shoulder. And then coming back to center, release the leg, hands on the hips, point the toe, and slowly bringing the leg down. Take a couple of breaths. And set up to the other side. Hand on the hip. Option one, raise the knee up, hand on the knee. Option two, hold on to the big toe, knee is bent. Option three, lengthening the leg out. Taking a couple of breaths. And bringing the leg out to the side. So whichever option you've chosen, knee bent, leg long, and then turn the head and look over the left shoulder. Coming back to center. Release the leg. Point the toe. And slowly bringing the leg down. Okay. So back to the top of the mat. Toes pointing forward. Inhaling, Utkatasana, awkward chair. Exhaling, folding forward. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, stepping or jumping back to plank. Chaturanga. Up dog. And down dog. Slipping the right foot forward. Rising up. Warrior one and pausing. We're going to take a few breaths here. Look up at your hands. Hands can be apart or together, but look up. And then continue to look up as you straighten the front leg. Continue to look up as you turn towards the back of the mat. Continue to look up. Bend the left knee, warrior one on the other side, looking up. And then opening up to warrior two. Pressing out to the fingers. Hips are parallel to the side of the mat. A few breaths here. Straighten the left leg. And towards the front of the mat. Bend the right knee. Warrior two. And then exhaling. Cross to the floor. Stepping back, chaturanga. Up dog. And down dog. And coming down to sit. And I'm going to switch the cameras. Okay. So that was the standing series. To start off, leave the legs out in front. Flex the feet, hands by the hips or further back. So depending on the length of your arms, you want to find a place for your hands that the arms can be long without your shoulders coming into the ears. So lengthen the spine, press the palms down, press the legs down, flex the feet. Feet and legs and arms are very active. This is Dandasana, chin into chest, focusing on the toes. And then exhaling, reaching forward, hold on to shin, ankle, toes, or outside of the feet. Lengthen the spine. Paschimottanasana, forward fold. Crown of the head efforting towards the toes. It will round, but think about length going towards the toes. Inhale, coming up. Do 3 of these. So for the next one, see if you can go 1 notch deeper. If you're holding the shins, maybe hold the ankles. If you're holding the ankles, maybe the toes, maybe the outside of the feet, etc. Lengthen, whichever one you're holding on to. And once again, bending the elbows, crown towards the toes, going a little bit deeper at this time. Inhale, lifting up. And now 1 more notch deeper. You're holding the outside of the feet. You might cross the wrists to hold the feet. Something I like to do is you take the block underneath the soles of the feet and then press the legs out into the block. Lengthen up and fold forward. And letting that go. So the next pose you could do one of 2 ways. It's a reverse plank. So you can either lift the hips up or you can do a reverse table. So option 1 is bending the knees and coming up into table. Option 2 is keeping the legs straight and lifting up into plank, raising the hips up, efforting the soles of the feet down, long spine, 1 straight line, crown of the head to the toes, and then exhaling, coming all the way down. So in Ashtanga, there's these mini vinyasas in between each pose. They're completely optional. I'm going to start them now. You roll over the knees. Option 1, which we'll do now, is a step back. Chaturanga, up dog, down dog, and then come back to sit. You can skip them all together. Some people do every other one. Whatever strategy works for you. Okay. So now, the seated poses. This is Ardha Baddha Padma Paschimottanasana. I'm going to mirror you. Left leg is long. Option 1. So option 1 will be cross the right ankle over the left thigh. Option 2 is to take the right foot underneath the thigh. Option 3 is half lotus. Only do lotus poses if you know your knee is okay with it. I'll demonstrate it with option 1 and then after with lotus. Raise the right arm up, press the palm into the floor behind you. Raise the left arm up, use the pressing down to reach forward, holding onto the foot. Lengthen, and then folding forward. So this Ardha Baddha is half bound. Binding means we're just holding on to something. Padma is the foot, and Paschimottanasana is forward fold. This is a version of Paschimottanasana. So option 1 and 2, you're doing the same thing. It's just the foot is either on the thigh or under. Option 3, if you're doing half lotus, you reach the arm around and hold onto the foot, raise the leg, arm up, and reach for the leg. Besides being a big opener for the shoulder, it's a very interesting use of the heel, massaging the inner organs. And letting that go. Vinyasa, so I'm going to do all of the vinyasas. Again, it's completely up to you. Chaturanga, up dog, and down dog. You're getting set up for the other side. Right leg is long. Cross the ankle, tuck the foot. We'll do half lotus. Raise the left arm, no, left arm behind, raise the right arm, reaching forward. Once you're holding onto the foot in options 1 and 2, you can then take the arm behind, the left arm, and bring it around, resting on your lower back. If you are doing a half lotus, you might hold onto the foot and then fold forward. And letting that go, Vinyasa. Coming through to sit. Okay, so the next one's called Trianga. So it's 3 limbs, mukha, face, to foot pose, mukha pada. So start off bending the right leg. Make sure your right knee feels good in this. If it doesn't, skip it, or in 1 second, we'll take a little pressure off. When you do this, you might find that your sit bone's off the floor. That's fine. It's perfectly fine. If that's not comfortable and you want to take a little pressure off, place the block under your left sit bone. Left sit bone. So now your pelvis is even. If you're still feeling uncomfortable in the knee, then just don't do it. And I don't have a good option for you right now. The foot is on the outside of the hip. We're going to fold forward to hold on to the foot. Let me point out, if your knee feels okay, you could still do it even with this sit bone off the ground. When you come forward, you're going to feel like you're tilting over, and that's okay. Just hold on to something, lengthen, and fold towards the leg. And coming back up, Vinyasa. And let's do the other side. So, bending the left leg, make sure the knee is okay. Optionally, putting the block under the right sit bone, just the right one. The foot is outside of the hip. It's okay if the sit bone is off the mat. And then either from this position on the block, fold forward, or if your knee feels okay, you don't need to use the block, fold forward, you'll tilt over, but that's okay. Come back to the center. Trianga, Mukha, Pada, Paschimottanasana. 3-limb face to foot pose. And letting that go. Vinyasa. Up dog and down dog. Okay. So now we'll do the There's a whole series of Jhana Shirshasana. We'll do 2 of them. Then the right leg. In Vinyasa, we try to get the thighs to be 90 degrees from each other. That might not work for you today. Sole of the foot on the inside of the thigh. Raise the arms up. Folding forward, hold on to something. Shin, ankle, or foot. Lengthen. And then this time let the back round. Head to knee pose. I'm sorry, it's knee to head pose. Jhana Shirshasana. So there is a slight rotation of the torso, lining up the center of the chest with the leg. It's a little bit of a twist. And slowly coming up. So if you want to go 1 notch more intense with your vinyasas, you could do an intermediate level jump back across the legs, palms on the floor in front. You start to roll forward and then jump back from there to plank. Chaturanga, up dog, down dog. And when you come forward, you're going to cross the legs and sit down. That's the intermediate jump back. Okay. And where were we? Left foot in. Sole of the foot. Thigh. Lift up. Fold forward. Hold on to something. Lengthen. And then let the back round. Knee to head pose. Jhana Shirshasana. And slowly coming up. Vinyasa. Maybe jumping back today. Okay, let's skip to Jhana Shirshasana C. So, left leg is long, then the right leg. The ball of the foot is on the floor. The arch of the foot rests on the inner thigh. Don't worry about where your knee is. It's a very interesting stretch for the very top of the foot. So the knee can be high. Don't worry about that. Reach up and folding forward, holding onto something, lengthen. And then let the back round, neck release, head hang heavy. Jhana Shirshasana C. Now, if you're okay in this position, you can then start to effort the knee towards the floor. That's both opening up the knee, the adductors, but also the toes. And coming up, Vinyasa. And now Jhana Shirshasana C on the other side. And in the left leg, bring the ball of the foot to the floor. Wrap the foot around the thigh. Don't worry about the knee. Reaching up and folding forward. And coming up. Vinyasa. Doesn't look like anybody's all that excited about jump back, so we'll step back. Up dog, down dog. And come through to sit. Okay. Marishi Asana. So Marishi was a famous teacher in the Middle Ages. There's a whole series of these. We're just going to do two. Bend the right leg. Bring the right foot in. Heel as close to the sit bone as you can get. And the foot is palm's distance from the thigh. Take the left palm, which is very important in this. Press it on the floor behind you. Raise the right arm as you're pressing the palm down. Use the leverage to reach towards the toes, but that's not the goal. The goal is to get the shoulder down as low as possible. And then wrap the right arm around. So the back of the hand can just rest wherever it lands on the back. Then take the left hand, and you can also rest it on the back, maybe hold the shirt, maybe the fingers, or hold the wrist. Once your hands are in place, lengthen, and then folding towards the leg. Vinyasa A. And the Vinyasa. And doing the other side. Right leg forward, bend the left, bring the, so the two tricks to this is to get the heel as close in as you can, right palms on the floor, and the other really important part is to try to get the shoulder as low as you can. And wrapping around, back of the hand on the thigh or back of the hand, holding shirt, fingers, or wrist. Once your hands are in place, lengthen, and then folding towards the leg. And letting that go, Vinyasa. Now, Ashtanga C, which is an Ashtanga seated twist. Left leg is long. Once again, bend the right leg, bring it in. It doesn't have, it could be maybe an inch or two from the thigh. Right hand on the floor behind. Left hand either on the knee or wrap the elbow around. Lengthen. And then I like to move my leg away to get my body past and pull the leg back in, turning to the right. Once you're in the twist, you can then decide if you want to bring the elbow over, fingertips up, or fingertips down, maybe holding onto the foot. And letting that go. Vinyasa. And bringing the left leg in. Left hand on the floor, right hand on the knee. Lengthen, rotate. Maybe wrapping around, maybe crossing over, fingers up, fingers down, rotating, looking over the left shoulder. And letting that go. And the Vinyasa. Now it's time for boat pose. So sitting up, bending the knees, bring the arms straight out. Option 1, raise the legs up. Option 2, Raise the arms and legs up. Option 3, the arms come forward. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Cross the legs, press down, use your core strength to get the sit-ups off the ground, even for a millisecond. That's mostly core, a little bit of arm, mostly core. Let's do that again. Legs are hip distance apart, arms out. Option 1, option 2, option 3. It's very hard to go from 2 to 3. 2, 3, 4, 5. Cross the legs, lifting up. One more. Bend the knees, arms out. Raise the legs, or the legs and arms, or reach forward. 2, 3, 4, 5. Cross the legs and lifting up. Okay. So let's do the Ashtanga rolling like a ball. So a couple of options. You can cross the legs, knees are bent and high, and then, so if you cross the right leg over the left hand will hold on to the right shin and the right hand onto the left shin. That's one option. Another option is to keep the knees together like we do in Pilates. Another option is a full lotus. Only do lotus poses if you know your knees are okay. It turns out this one's easier to do in lotus. So I'll demonstrate it holding onto the shins. So we're going to roll like a ball and circle around 8 times. So 1, I'll let you count. Slowly rotating around your mat. And coming back to sit. Baddha Konasana, bound angle pose. Feet are together. The further away the feet are, the more this will be about the lower back. The further in the feet are, the more it's about the groin. You decide. Lengthen the spine, hold on to something. Shins, ankles, feet. Do this in 2 steps. Lengthening the spine, don't worry about the knees. Find length in the spine, crown to the ceiling. Taking a few breaths, finding length. And then folding forward, holding on through shin, ankle, over foot. Let the back round, neck release, head hang heavy. Once you're in position, you can use the forearms and elbows to gently effort the legs and knees towards the floor. Release the neck, let the head hang. And slowly coming up. Now bring the legs out wide. Hands on either side, lift up, go a little wider. The Ashtanga version of Upavista Konasana, the arms are going to hold on to the legs, shins, ankles, toes are the outside of the feet. So lengthen, and folding forward, decide on what to hold on to. Lengthen again, lifting up, then folding forward, release the neck and head. And slowly coming up. Bring the feet in. And do the same pose with the legs up. So decide on something to hold on to. And then open the legs up wide, finding your balance. Very similar to what we do in Pilates. Taking a few breaths. And letting that go. Coming down on the back. Raise the right leg up. Hold on to the leg. Half ankle or yoga toe lock, but only if you can keep the leg straight. Don't sacrifice keeping it straight for holding onto the toe. So you're better off holding onto the calf with the leg straight. And then raise the shoulders, neck, and head. Reach the left fingers to the left toes. So this is the same sequence as the standing balance pose in the supine position. And then bring the head down, bring the leg out to the right, turn the head to the left, left palm can press the left hip down. Again, don't sacrifice. Try to make sure your right leg is long. Hold on to the right part of your leg to do that. And coming back up, head to knee. Release the leg, head comes to the ground, point the toe, and very slowly bringing the leg back down. And the left leg. Hold on to shin, ankle, toe, calf. Lift the torso up, flex the right foot, right fingers reaching for the toe, head and knee efforting towards each other. Exhaling. Bring the leg out to the left. Right hand on right hip, turn the head, look to the right. And then bringing the leg back up, head to knee, release the foot, head comes back to the floor, point the toe, and slowly bring the leg down. Okay, and bending the knees, bringing the heels as close into the sit bones as you're comfortable going. Arms are by the side. Lifting the hips up, walk the shoulders under, interlock the fingers. Legs are parallel, hips are high, back is arched, pressing down into the soles of the feet and the shoulders. And exhale, coming back down. So we're going to do that again. You could do the exact same thing again. If you want to try going a notch deeper, bring the heels a little closer in. Maybe holding the heels, maybe holding the ankles. And then lifting up, walk the shoulders under. Efforting the hips up, soles and shoulders down. And slowly coming back down. You can do it one more time. Choose whatever version you liked. If you do have a full wheel in your practice, you could do that now. Hand over the shoulders to decide what you want to do and lift up. And slowly coming back down. So raising the legs up, flex and point the feet, flex and point. And decide on the inversion of your choice today. You can stay right here, do a supported shoulder stand with the block underneath the iliac crest, on the back of the pelvis, or a shoulder stand, remembering to think of it as a shoulder blade stand, keeping flexion out of the neck. Feet are neutral, not pointed nor flexed, focusing on the toes. And if you have it in your practice, bring the legs overhead, either parallel to the floor or toes touching the floor. If the toes do touch the floor, flip the feet over, interlock the fingers, press the arms down, lengthen the legs into Halasana, the plow pose. And slowly rolling out, palms and forearms parallel to the body, pressing down. As the legs come down, arch the back, pressing down into the elbows and forearms, coming onto the top of the head, looking behind you in a fish pose. And then raising the arms, raising the legs, palms together, feet together. Exhale, releasing that, and come up to sit. Crossing the legs. Bring the arms behind, hold on to wrists or elbows. Lengthen the spine and fold forward. Long, deep breaths. And inhale, coming up, bringing the back of the hands onto the knees, thumb and pointer touching, Yana Mudra, closing the eyes, focusing on the breath. And opening the eyes, palms on either side of the hips, keeping the legs crossed. This one happens to be much easier in full lotus, but only do that if your knees feel okay. Press the palms down. This is all about core. And lift up. This is called the balance pose, Talasana. Kind of like Lady Liberty with the scales of balance and justice. And then exhaling, coming back down. And time for relaxation. Feet to the corners of the mat, arms out to the side, palms up, tucking the chin into the chest. Letting go. And slowly come back to normal breathing. Wiggle the fingers and the toes. The legs together, arms overhead, big stretch from the hands to the feet. Bring the knees into the chest. And roll to the right side. And when you're ready, come up into a nice, easy sitting position. Opening the eyes. Namaste, everyone. Yoga Nidra at 1:30, and I'll see everybody on Sunday.
Namaste. Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you, Phil.
That was great.
Thanks, Bill. Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.